really can't believe all this time went by. I'm going to be 6 weeks in 2 more days. Today just felt like such a milestone. My little baby only woke up once last night. She went from eating like every 2 hours at night to every 3. I was like, I can do my makeup, I can make a video, let's do this. I wrote some of this stuff down because it's just a lot. Aside from how great she has been sleeping, it has given me more energy to get more stuff done during the day. For instance, today we went on a walk, which the first time I went for a walk outside with her was yesterday. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Yesterday I only walked for about 15 minutes and today I walked for about 30 minutes, and I can honestly say it felt amazing. Light exercise after so long and after have given birth to a baby, at least for me. The bottom part of my belly, so I'm thinking it's, you know, like where your uterus typically is, like down at the bottom there. It doesn't feel like it's stable. Like it still feels like somewhat flabby, I guess. Your belly is just like moving more so than it used to. It's kind of uncomfortable because it feels like on the inside your uterus is kind of just flopping around too when you're walking really fast. I noticed this probably even like a couple weeks ago. My uterus has definitely shrunk, but it doesn't feel like it's as tight as it used to be, and I don't know if eventually it will. I'm guessing so. When I go to the store or when I go anywhere, I just walk fast. I wasn't wearing like a belly bandit. I wasn't wearing anything that compressed. So when I walked, I could really feel that sort of wiggling of my uterus to the point where I had to actually hold my hand there. Later that night, after going to the store and walking like that, it was actually sore down there, down in my lower belly. If I know I'm gonna go somewhere, I try to wear my belly compression thing to kind of get some of that support so it doesn't hurt after walking. Today I didn't wear a belly bandit, I just forgot, but I was wearing, like, my underwear is high enough to kind of hold in the lower part of my belly, and then I was wearing some of my older leggings, so my leggings, most of my leggings are high-waisted, so that I got some of that compression there. But even towards the end of the walk, I could somewhat feel it. But nothing was worse than that itchy, burning sensation that I got in my legs where, you know, that you've just been inactive for so long that you get that reaction, which it's fine. I'll get better. My goal is to do this every day, at least during the week with her, because she seems to really enjoy it. She sleeps and I get my exercise, and it's gorgeous out because we're getting a little bit more fall weather, but it's not cold yet. So sorry to just segue right into bleeding, but I stopped at about 5 weeks. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but honestly, from week 4 to week 5, it was super, super light. And when you dealt with as much blood as at the beginning, it's like when you get to the last couple weeks, it's really nothing. I basically got away with wearing a panty liner, and you know, there's other types of discharge, it's not all blood. So I would say I stopped wearing panty liners yesterday, and there's just a little bit of discharge, so I might just continue to wear panty liners. I can probably, I don't know, I could probably do a whole other video on the caring for your lady bits and how all that went, but it gets easier for sure. I also got hives. I got hives like 2 weeks postpartum, and I was not prepared for that. It may have been a reaction to the painkillers that I was on, which was a high dose of Motrin, Tylenol, and oxycodone, or however you say it. I only took it a few times and I just felt like I was taking a lot, so I stopped all of that medication. And then I took Benadryl a couple times and I was too afraid that it would mess with my milk supply, so I stopped that. And they even prescribed something else. I forgot what it was, but yeah, I can't remember. They were telling me like you can take this and it may get into your breast milk. Just take it and then feed 4 hours later. But at the time, my baby wasn't eating at 4 hours at a time. She was eating at like 2 to 3 hours at a time. So I remember taking it one time and I couldn't make it to 4 hours. So I stopped basically taking it. I got mastitis. Holy crap, I was not prepared for it. And the sad thing was, the day that I self-diagnosed myself that I had mastitis, I was literally thinking, man, I haven't gotten mastitis yet. I was watching a YouTube video of someone talking about how they had mastitis and I was like, oh, I'm probably not gonna get that. Wrong. Aside from it being hell, you react by having a very painful part of your breast in one area, wherever that clogged milk duct is, and then you get flu-like symptoms. So you can possibly get a fever, fatigue, body ache. But when I was reading about mastitis and how to kind of get rid of it, I also talked to my doctor. My doctor basically suggested what I had read up on, to use warm compress, nurse, take vitamin C, and what was it? Oh, rest. And rest was really, really difficult with a month-old. Somehow I managed. I did not have to take any antibiotics for it. I got over that within maybe like 3 days. And then I got my flu shot that weekend. 3 days later, I had flu-like symptoms again. My husband thought that I had mastitis again, but I wasn't feeling the same kind of pain in my breast anymore. The flu-like symptoms were just so much worse. I was so sure that I got the flu. I was really confused because I hadn't been anywhere really to have contracted the flu. Oh. Baby's crying. Be right back. Alright, so I'm gonna try this again. So I thought I actually had the flu and I was super freaked out because I was scared that she was gonna get it. Basically, the doctors tell you that you can still feed your baby, that your body would create antibodies, that the baby would get them through the breast milk. You just have to do your best to wash your hands. Obviously, don't cough on the baby. I even wore a face mask just because I was really paranoid. I actually think that I had a reaction to the flu shot because the flu-like symptoms were gone within 2 days before I could even go check to see if I actually had the flu. One of the nurses I talked to, they basically said that I could go in and get the Theraflu, but that it wouldn't treat the flu. It would just help with the symptoms. Luckily, I didn't have to go anywhere. Another thing that I got was a milk bleb, or a milk blister on my nipple, and it basically looks like a blister on your nipple. It sounds horrible. It is horrible. It's just really uncomfortable when you nurse. Doesn't look very good either. That lasted maybe 3 days, and then you basically have to continue to nurse on that side. What I did was I basically kept it moisturized with coconut oil, rinse it with a saline water, just a salt and water mixture, put it in a shot glass, put it on my nipple for like 4 minutes, and then I got a cotton ball with olive oil on it and I put it between the nursing pad and my nipple. After doing that one evening, I thought that it was gone because I looked down and it was flat. And then I went to nurse her. It was just right back the same way, I guess, or it didn't actually pop, it was just flat. Like, I woke up the next morning and it was like flat again, but this time it seemed like it had dried out a little bit, like almost like a scab would dry. I guess with the continuously nursing, keeping it moisturized, and time, it basically went away on its own. But I think what I did helped. I weighed 197 pounds. That was my last weigh-in prior to giving birth, and now I am 171. I'm about 26 pounds down. Most of my weight went down within the first 2 weeks, and then it slowed down, I would say, by the 3rd week, and it's just been really slow the past 2 weeks. I probably lost like 6 pounds or less within like the past 2 weeks. I am 9 pounds away from my pre-pregnancy weight. I haven't started working out yet. I really watched what I ate at the beginning between, I would say, 1 to 3 weeks, and then at 3 weeks my appetite was just ravenous and I was craving a lot of sweets. So I had like a pretty bad week of just kind of getting whatever I wanted, but then I got motivated to eat healthy again because of all the flu-like symptoms and the mastitis. I just wanted to keep my immune system up and obviously give her all the good stuff. I would say the past week I've been doing pretty good as far as staying away from sweets and just eating pretty good. I'm not really worried about getting back into shape. I just know it's going to be quite a journey, especially since it's been so long since I've had an intense workout regimen. Not that I'm going to be going too intense, but what else do I have written down here? On to, I'm gonna talk quickly about my mental postpartum update. I would say that for me, like I said, I'm having a really good day today because she slept so well. But the first day with her, I slept 2 hours and I was just so pumped up with adrenaline, like I didn't even realize. Can you not shake the camera, please? And then it was kind of like that for the first week. I think my husband and I were too scared to sleep, both of us at the same time while she was sleeping, so we would kind of take shifts. And that just, it was really bad. But I was still in such... Do you mind not waking up the little one, please? Oh my god, my dog is crazy. She's got a few flakes in her hair because of cradle cap. Anyways, as far as emotionally and mentally, I mentally was going crazy because I wasn't sleeping, but I was really happy still. My family came in and I was just over the moon with her. Still over the moon with her. It didn't get really hard until my husband went back to work. It didn't help that it was the same time that all my family went home too, so I was literally at home by myself with her. I felt like such a rock star that day because, like, my first day with her, because I was getting all the stuff done and I was taking care of her. My husband came home and I remember sitting on the couch and I was like, oh my gosh, my neck hurts really bad. So he gave me like a neck massage and it felt amazing, and I was just like in my own world. I had my eyes closed. I could feel myself drifting away. And then he says, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And I start bawling. I'm just crying because it was the first time that day where I kind of felt like someone else was caring for me and I wasn't the one caring for someone else all day long. You don't realize how much it takes out of you that you're caring for someone. I mean, as cute as she is, it's a lot of work. I think I pushed myself a little bit too hard the day, especially with the lack of sleep. I don't think I napped that day. I wore myself out and I should have been smarter about that. But he was just like, why are you crying? And yeah, and I remember he wanted me to take a nap and I was like, okay. And I tried to, but I was just, at the beginning I was just too paranoid. I was missing my husband and I didn't want to sleep, but you gotta sleep. You just have to. So I've learned to listen a little bit more to my body and take those chances when I can to nap. If she continues to sleep as well as she's sleeping, knock on wood, I'm usually pretty good. I could last all day without a nap, and I can get a lot of stuff done in between like her naps, or like during her naps at least. I'm doing really well. I'm really happy. I feel really blessed. A couple times where I was really upset, I thought that maybe I was having like the baby blues, and honestly it was a lot of anxiety and a lot of sleep deprivation for me. That's what I think it is. And I honestly get that way with any sort of sleep deprivation, even prior to giving birth with her, or even pre-pregnancy. I'm just not good with not sleeping. So it's a miracle that I've lasted this long, honestly. I will have another video about her 6-week update. I just think it'll be too long of a video at this point. If you made it this far, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.